Hello everyone, we're back again for grade 9 biology. This is the last part of the circulatory system, or practically transport in animals. This part we'll be talking about the blood, the components of the blood. As you can see over here, we've got the red blood cells which contain hemoglobin and they functionize in oxygen transport. The white blood cells, which consists of phagocyte and antibody formation. Also the platelets, which causes clotting, the accumulation of the blood in a certain place, especially in wounds, when you get a scratch, or to prevent, bleeding, and the plasma, which actually contains the transporter of blood cells, ions, soluble nutrients, hormones, carbon dioxide, urea, and plasma proteins. Okay, as for the circulation, the immune system is like a major part of the circulatory system, because the cells that the immune system depends on, they are practically derived or coming from the blood cells, which are the phagocyte and the lymphocyte. As we said before, that the phagocyte is that type of cell that engulfs the pathogen. Meanwhile, the lymphocyte is the sort of cell that actually destroys the pathogen by penetrating its own structure. The phagocyte here has lobed nucleus and vessels containing digestive enzymes. Meanwhile, the process of phagocytosis is actually engulfing the pathogen. Vessels fuse with the vacuole and enzymes digest bacteria. The antigen, which is practically protein, carbohydrate on the surface of a pathogen, which provokes the immune system. Meanwhile, the lymphocyte, they are found in blood, particularly in the lymph nodes, that we said once that they we can find them just behind the ears and in the neck section. The large nucleus, and they produce the antibodies. Also, the antibodies, the Y-shaped protein, bind to label pathogen, then either destroyed by being ingested by the phagocytes, or the antibodies may actually do it. The last thing here, we've got blood clotting. Okay, the blood clotting here, what's the purpose of the platelets actually clots the blood? For an example, I was riding my bike so hard, or I was driving my car, and unfortunately I had a car accident. It wasn't just scratches, I was literally bleeding. So one of the functions, or the major role that platelets play, is actually clotting the blood. It takes from 3 to 4 minutes max, and it starts clotting if it's just a normal scratch. Why does it do that? So it can reduce the blood loss and keeps pathogens out. Because it's when you have the blood clot formation, the pathogens can no longer get inside of the scratch. That's why it's always necessary to check if you're not having the normal clot formation. Fibrinogen, which is an inactive, turns to fibrin activated and forms a mesh, sort of a net, to trap the red blood cells, which eventually dries from a scrap. And for here, this will be the last part of this chapter.